my.
Yeah.
And she didn't know what to say.
I've told that story to several people before.
You've told it to me.
About us going and waiting at the restaurant, and
Yes.
just asked us if we wanted to order. No, we're waiting for Jesus.
And then Jim
That's
has to
hilarious.
break the silence, and he orders his ice cream by color. So that she knew that we were.
Who was Jesus? Did you know him?
Bob Kyle.
I'm assuming you knew Jesus. I mean,
Bob Kyle.
It was Bob Kyle.
Oh, it was Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Hey, he played Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, and there was a lot of ice cream events.
Now that you say that, I do remember that he was a bit of a what do they call him?
Let's see the weird.
Community theater. Yeah.
The
He did.
showman, yeah, he really was.
Was it the
No, there's a word for actors. Thespians.
Thespian.
Actors.
Lesbian.
Thespian.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bit of a thespian. He was a lot of thespian.
I was recalling something, and we had an artist, a woman who came and did art when we were at Pilgrim Hills, and we drew one day. We drew pictures and things, and then she was having us write haikus. 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, and some kid just nailed it. We were sitting there on that tile floor, and he goes something like, cold, cold hard floor, my butt fell asleep, can I get up now? And that was it. That was his haiku, and the place went nuts. It was just perfect. He captured the moment exactly in a haiku. I think we gave him a standing ovation.
That was Susan Fowler, I think.
There you go. I bet it was.
Back, and she was back a couple years
She was
ago.
back 2 years ago and did the
She was back in
75th
19.
anniversary. She
Yeah.
did the drawing for the 75th
Yes.
anniversary.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
She was so excited because they gave her part of her workshop fee to come, and they auctioned off her sketch drawings.
Right.
And the auction, it brought like 4 times what her fee would have been.
She was good. It didn't take a lot to get her excited, but that was neat.
Yeah, it was cool.
And I'll never forget Elizabeth L. Ellis with her punchline on her story. And he was a stranger, and I took him in.
I still tell that story. That's a great one.
Yeah.
A stranger came and we took him in. The horse blanket.
Yep.
Actually, Christy's sister Julie came in, and they were telling you, tell a story from your family's perspective. And they mentioned the time that the Fisher clan went to Florida, like in a rented camper motorhome kind of thing. And their dad really wanted to see this alligator farm, but Christy said mom kind of wanted to go to the beach and just stay there, but dad wanted to see stuff. So one day they packed up the whole family and they go, and he wouldn't stop and ask directions, and it was before GPS, and they've been driving for hours, and they're in this swampland in Central Florida. And finally, Christy's mom goes, "We're going to get out at the next stop sign, and I want you just to drive off and leave us here. We'll be fine. Like you just go, And we're like rolling, because I don't think Julie had said 5 words at Buckeye, and then she came out with that story, and we were just rolling, laughing in there. It was so funny.
I bet.
We'll just stand here and get eaten by the alligators. It'll have to be better.
So I kind of just noticed that Rod has a fire truck in his living room.
Yeah, occasionally I just live here for a couple days.
One of those jobs where you kind of just take yourself in.
It's actually been pretty uneventful today until about 7:15. We had a fire alarm go off at the hospital. I'm like, oh, great.
No.
At the hospital? That's not good.
Yeah. Fortunately, it was just an alarm off, so it was no big deal. We were back in no time.
Good.
Jeez.
So where's the emergency center if the hospital's on fire? Is there a
the
plan
next
for
town
that?
over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess.
No, we hope it doesn't happen. The hospital's big enough. Hopefully, it's just contained to one area. If it does, and they'll deal with it the rest of the way.
You just go to the competitor hospital across town.
No, you never do that.
Yeah. Code reds. We do not want code reds at the hospital, but they happen, unfortunately.
Mhm.
There's a reason to have them.
Usually it's somebody burning popcorn, one of the nurses or somebody.
Code reds are different at other hospitals because at my hospital that I was in, code red means somebody was going, or blue was somebody having a heart attack, or
Yeah. Blue's a heart attack, yeah.
Yeah. Red, we've had code reds because of people deciding they're allowed to smoke in the bathrooms. No,
no, you're not.
no.
That was
But
our high
that's
school.
happened.
She's not lying.
I'm
Yeah.
not lying.
When I worked at our ice rink, we had to make up our own codes for stuff because we would get bored. And we had code green was when this one patron that was kind of strange would show up. Yeah. He wanted to always buy all of the rental skates. And we're like, they're not very nice.
How many would you like to buy?
We've created interesting code words at camp for when we say things over the walkies that we don't want campers to know what we're talking about. And so when you say that there's a deer coming down the driveway, it means that there's a stranger coming into camp that someone needs to go check out. And that works great because, you know, the camper's like, oh, there's a deer? Huh, that's weird. Until the counselor,
Let's go look.
Until the counselor on the walkie goes, there's a deer in a flannel shirt coming down the driveway.
Oh.
We're like, you just ruined it.
All of the kids run because they want to see the deer dressed in a flannel shirt.
Well, and we talked about other ideas, you know, should it be, you know, a unicorn? We're like, no, everybody's going to run that direction if we say there's a unicorn.
Yeah.
And we don't want to say there's a bear because then everybody's going to freak out and panic. So we
There's a bear. Where? Over there.
Skunk. Yeah.
and
No
not
one's
do
gonna
any-
go see the skunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that they kind of ruined it when they announced that there was a deer in a flannel shirt walking down the way.
Too funny.
So this one year at Pilgrim Hills, they built a new deck. And I think we
Oh, yes. That was the year I was there.
about 150 people or so would show up to Buckeye, and you know, it was kind of a, you know, so they said, hey, let's, you know, it's a nice day, let's take a picture outside. So we go outside and we shoot the snapshot and we climb the stairs back into the building, and then somebody goes, there's no stairs between here and the building. We sunk the deck. We sunk what, a foot or more?
I think it was
About 8 inches. The deck settled just a little bit.
yeah. I remember that. Yes.
We found out they didn't put footers under the posts.
No.
Drove them suckers right down on the ground.
Well, it was probably going to happen at some point anyway. So
We just
but 150 people out there did it real quick.
Yep.
Yep.
I've worried about that happening when we're all on the bleachers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the
I don't know.
bleachers. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what those bleachers are rated at poundage wise, but we test them.
That's why I
I
always
don't-
go to the bottom.
Yeah, I don't think that those bleachers are meant to seat their intended capacity
Yeah.
in their current state.
It's like our stage at our fair. It's a semi-trailer, and it's been extended both directions and has all this apparatus built on it to be an indoor stage, which also weighs like 20,000 pounds. Well, when we have all the bands from all the high schools play on it. Well, Worcester band's like 200 kids. So they get all these kids up there on this trailer, and it starts leaning one way or the other.
Oh shoot!
Not a good thing.
It's not. It don't have props underneath it. I mean,
Oh,
just
no,
like
it
that
does.
tire.
But it's
But-
still like overloaded.
But if
it
they
by-
all go to the back and then the front ones fall out and then they move to the front, it's not great.
it's definitely, you figured out, if we figured 100 pounds times 200 people, that's 20,000 pounds. So, and no kids are 100 pounds.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Pretty wild.
Has anybody got any inside information on what the announcement's going to be on April 1st that we can have for each camp this year?
That's a good question.
That'd be worth something if you knew that answer.
I know
There's a whole. There's
we're
a
not
bunch.
doing
There's
military kids camp this year.
Well, I know our school's back to 5 days a week with 80% of the kids. So I'm figuring if we can have 20 kids in the classroom, we can have 12 kids in a cabin. So
Larry, did you say there is or is not?
Not for Ohio military kids.
No, okay. I'm on the camp board for Kelly's Island, so that's not a good sign.
Well, they didn't feel that waiting until April to get things started would
Night,
be
Rod.
reasonably.
Okay.
Good night, Ashley.
I have a question for you. Is there anybody here that's been to the National 4-H Center in Washington, just outside of Washington, D.C.?
Stayed there 3
Yes.
times.
Yeah, up in Bethesda. I chaperoned in 2000.
I went to CWF there, so.
How much money you got? It's for sale.
And
Yeah, that's a shame.
Really?
What?
Ohio owns a room there, and I don't know how they're going to go around that because Ohio has a room there.
We just paid to refurbish it. We don't own it.
Yeah.
Well, Ashley was on my bus for Citizenship Washington Focus. That's where I
Really?
first met her.
So what's the status with the 4-H center? Are they just
It's
closing
for
it?
sale.
They're selling it.
Yep.
Are they going to open it somewhere else, or are they just doing away with it altogether?
Well, they're going to do a virtual conference this year.
Yeah, I knew that.
I don't know what their plans are to have a facility or not, or if they're just going to rent a hotel.
Yeah, they're going to rent office space for the national staff. But I think any other than that, they're going to have to go to conference centers and things like that and rent them on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're selling it because, well, that's a very high dollar property that it's actually on. So
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
See, the way it is now, you can actually go there and you can rent a room there, use it as a motel. We've
Right.
stayed there before on a vacation.
Mhm.
They're not.
I
if
was
they,
actually
if they don't have a
going to try
conference
to
going
do
on there.
that.
Right.
I was trying to do that last year, and I ended up not being able to. Ended up not even having to go to DC because everything shut down. But yeah, I was
If
actually
anybody-
trying to do that.
If anybody wants the news article, let me know. I can forward it to you on email.
Yeah, I got it on Facebook.
They made a lot more money on non-4-H groups than they did on 4-H groups.
Oh, I imagine.
Well, they tried to keep the prices down for the 4-H kids.
Yeah.
That was well known.
Yeah.
Dave, you said you've got it on your Facebook?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay, thanks.
I shared it on mine too.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, because I'm on National 4-H Foundation, sends me stuff all the time.
Okay.
Larry, I think you're an admin for our Facebook group for Buckeye if you just want to post it there.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
I
I'm
like
gonna
sure
go-
they'll do
we have
something.
we have two very different approaches for camera angles from the Cull family.
we're in different rooms, can't stand each other.
Carolyn likes to look at the top of her head.
I know all we're seeing is the top of her head.
I just relocated because I was like, I asked Ted, I go, do you want to come in the living room? And he's like, no. I'm like, I'm coming in there with you then, so I don't have to hear you in surround sound. I could hear him over my headphones that were plugged in.
Yeah, that's why Katie's in her room and I'm in the basement. So
But I could just yell really loud right now and mom would be able to hear it. So
We laughed earlier. I had insider information on when some of the groups are coming back because Sammy was running one. And Katie goes, well, my mom's in one too. I'll see how they're doing. And then I looked down at my sheet because I took notes as to who was where. And they were in the same room. So we.
Well, Carolyn
was
kicked
kinda
me out of
fun.
the kitchen because I wanted to go and watch the video that Tech was having, but so I got kicked out of the kitchen. That's why I'm in here and she's in the kitchen right now. And yeah, I can hear myself out there in the kitchen and the feedback. So
Yeah. Last night, Ted and I were downstairs and Skylar was upstairs and all three of us were on different computers doing the video call. And I'm like, this is driving me crazy. I can hear everybody 3 times.
You're lucky you had enough
I
bandwidth.
didn't have anything on.
You did at the beginning.
Ted, do you have any idea how many are signed in tonight?
There was 40.
Is that right? I'm surprised. Last night we had 60 some, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be
I
careful.
expected more for happy hour than tonight.
Be
We had
careful. There may be some double.
53, I believe, signed up last night, but I don't know that all of them ended up logging in.
Well, in some like the parishes, there was 4 people on one
Right.
sign-in too.
Right, and several people had multiple people in the room.
Right. So there was way more than 60.
And then you have to subtract people like myself that sign in both on my phone and computer, so I can walk with a phone around the house and do things.
There you go.
The computer, I have to change sound, or if I go close to Carolyn's computer, I have to knock the sound down so we don't have two echoing sounds. But so yeah, you should get subtract 1 for me at least.
I think when John Deeds was on, at one point I kept having to re-admit him, and there were 3 John Deeds in room 1. So I don't know what all was happening.
I think the internet was just kind of slow at that point.
Gotcha.
When you get 2 people in one house on the internet, it kind of eats up a lot of bandwidth.
Oh, I bet.
That's
far
why
we've been
I
doing
go on my
okay.
phone.
Yeah.
Because I'm not using the internet for that. The Wi-Fi at least.
For our super camp meetings, Sammy's mom goes over and helps Edith do Zoom stuff, and they never quite get the settings right. So there's like 6 pixels for both of them combined sometimes. But we get lots of audio from everywhere. And before
Sewing
the
machine noises.
yeah, before the one meeting, we're like, Edie, you cannot use your sewing machine while you're on a Zoom call.
Please mute yourself rather than put. She like joined on her cell phone and then would prop it up next on her sewing machine.
Oh no.
Edie, the multitasker.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're like, are you
Hilarious.
sewing? Yeah, never have a minute, or never have a free minute, or a wasted minute. We're like, well, maybe waste these few minutes, please.
Please. Jeez.
See a cute kitty cat.
This is Phantom.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
And Phantom has double thumbs on both of his front paws.
Aw.
Cute.
How unique.
We used to have some black and white cats on the farm.
A bell.
They were the favorites.
And let's just say he tried to knock over the computer when I was doing the escape room, and I had to throw him out of the room.
No kidding.
Yeah, my dog was
They don't-
wreaking a little havoc during our escape room too.
They don't realize that they don't own everything.
No,
They don't own everything?
Yeah.
This one owns
They
everything.
don't realize that they don't own everything.
I kind of think they do.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Maybe you don't realize that they really do.
I think that's what I was saying, maybe.
I have a sign somewhere in my house that says this place is maintained for the comfort and convenience of the cat.
So we have these little felt balls, and you can see their effect.
Oh my gosh.
They're his favorite toy.
Are they full of catnip or something?
No, they're just 100% wool that are plant dyed. I bought them off of a crafting website.
But he knows how to play fetch now.
Yeah, he's really good at fetch.
Oh yeah. This one
Put it on
plays
a-
that too.
Put it on a string and let it hang somewhere.
Yeah, those get shredded. He plays for
I
keep.
bet they would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check out, folks. Got to go check on Mom.
Have a good night.
Good night,
See you tomorrow night.
Night, John.
Night,
See you,
John.
John.
It's been good to see you all. I'm going to check out as well. We'll see you tomorrow evening, hopefully.
All right.
Good to see you too, Bill.
Take care, Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Good night.
Figure out how to do it on Patricia's computer.
Well, I told Dave and Ted that when they left the breakout room that I was going to check out, but I end up here, so I better do it now. Tomorrow night, at least part of the night.
Good night.
Night,
Have a
Ron.
good night.
Night.
So long, farewell, Auf
I'm
Wiedersehen.
saying goodbye.
So is the sing along going to work, or are we going to have a lot of reverb and delay through the on Zoom?
Everybody's
I've
gonna
never
have to
tried
mute.
anything like that on Zoom.
Yeah. So
Mute.
They pre-recorded a set of songs, and what we've experimented with when we've done sing-alongs for camp is it works best if everybody just listens and sings along in your own home.
Okay.
But we don't all join our voices together because there is too much delay, and then we would be all over the place. So we tried a few live sing-alongs for camp, and it was a real mess. So
Well, we had a 4-H Zoom meeting where we tried to say the Pledge of Allegiance all together, and that was a mess too. So, you know, it didn't go very well.
Yeah,
Jim Kane was talking about a program that he has or that he uses that it syncs everybody up.
yeah, we looked into it, and he misspoke last night. It's not Easy Choir. That's online sheet music. It's Easy
Virtual.
Yeah, easyvirtualchoir.com. And they've got a Q&A tutorial. I think they also do 4 to 5ers on 4 to 5 Fridays and Saturdays for how to use the software. If you want to join a Zoom call for like, hey, how does this work?
Cool.
But
That's not a live thing. It is a way to record virtual.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a way to record many people and it syncs it up.
Yeah, there'll be a single track, and then you sing along with the track to keep your tempo right. And then it will adjust for latency, everybody, and then eventually give you a track back.
What was the name again?
easyvirtualchoir.com. I'll send you the link.
Easy Virtual Choir.
Okay.
I'll put the link in the chat right now.
Thanks, Amber.
And they do a Friday and Saturday night, they call it office hours, where you can ask questions, get help, figure out how to use the software.
I've seen a lot of people where they've taken a group. You know, I didn't see the OSU band.
Yeah.
Actually recorded some things, so they must have used something like that. But I think it's, you know, everybody does it, and then at some point in time, that it all gets put together into this recording.
And I don't know if you
This
guys
helps for those of us that cannot technologically create all of those videos and force them into one. This does that part for us.
I've saved all the chats too from the last couple nights, so it's kind of cool to go back to and look at them.
Yeah, I saved last night, and someone, I don't remember who it is, I have to go back and look, got on a private chat with just me. So for all of the big group activities where you just spam in the numbers and the names of the TV shows, they came in as a private message to just me.
I got a bunch of those too.
Yeah.
They clicked your name instead of clicking everyone.
I'm glad that you're participating, but
no one's seen your answer.
Yeah.
The virtual choir thing, my husband's office does a every he works at a university, so every semester they do a coffee house event, and people from all over his office perform at the coffee house. And of course this year they weren't able to do the live in-person coffee house that they've done for the past 4 or 5 years. So he put together a virtual coffee house where everybody submitted their videos of themselves performing, and then he edited it all together, and they did it as a virtual like performance, and he was the MC. But one of the women used something like that Easy Virtual Choir, recorded herself doing 12 different parts of a musical piece, and edited them all together. So there's 12 images of her on the screen singing all the different parts of a musical performance, and it was so good. It was amazing. But yeah, it was a really cool performance.
It'd be really cool to do with puppets. Get a puppet doing one. You could do 4 different parts and have the puppets all singing.
Beluga.
Oh, the font.
So with the virtual choir, do you know if you can hear it as it updates, so she could hear all of them? Or was she just doing each part off of one track?
I'm not sure.
She may not have been
using
sure
what
Oh, that's true.
software she used, but I actually have the link if anyone wants to go view. I believe hers is the last performance in this link. So if anyone wants to see the whole of Coffee House, it's like an hour long, but I believe hers is the last performance of the night because he thought it was so good that he put her last. Nope, last is the OIT Glee group where there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a whole bunch of them using a similar thing too. But anyhow, it's fun if you have some time and want to watch. Oh, it is. No, there's 6 of her on the last performance, about an hour and 9 minutes in.
Cool.
So it's fun. They do a really good job. Some people sing, some people tell stories. They have one woman in their office who teaches tap dancing lessons, and so she always does a tap performance. And it's a whole bunch of IT people, and they all are amazingly very musically talented.
Well, I think I'm going to have to go dig through my BLW t-shirts and find out which ones I need to bring for tomorrow night.
I gotta do a little searching myself.
She didn't say BRW t-shirts because I've got a bunch of those too.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the chat it says BLW or BRW.
I think it did say either or.
Because there's only
Yes,
there's
it
2
did
different
say
ones
that
for
in the
B,
chat. I noticed
or
that.
3 different ones for BRW. The wonderful orange ones. Then there's 2 gray ones.
Like the school
I
bus.
have one that absolutely nobody else will have.
Oh.
I doubt it.
It was an auction special.
Oh, so it's a one-of-a-kind shirt, handmade.
Sweatshirt, yeah.
You might win.
Ooh, I want. I mean, if John can find the upside down schedule shirt that they made for Backwards Day,
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
That would be interesting.
Does it count if it's on John's quilt?
that's true. It's true. I don't know if he had Buckeye shirts on there or just 4-H ones.
I thought it was just 4-H ones.
I don't remember any Buckeye
I took
ones.
pictures
on
of
it.
that
Quilt,
quilt one
that
time.
quilt is just 4-H. You know, I remember I was at the revealing of that quilt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was at his retirement there in
I have
Marion.
a lot of these shirts.
Yeah.
Leadership camp.
Leadership camp, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got 9 different colors.
Bye, Carolyn.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So,
I've got at least 9 colors of shooting sports camps.
Yeah, but most of them are orange.
No, they're
Light orange, bright.
No.
Not the shooting sports camps ones. Those are all kinds of different colors.
They do a lot of gray for shooting sports camp though.
Yeah, or heather.
What's that ugly brown color from?
Shooting sports. Oh, no, that leadership
Leadership camp?
That was the original. He called it orange, and it was.
Oh my, no.
It was burnt orange.
Oh.
when John's quilt was revealed, he's like, "There's my shirts. I've been wondering where they've been." You know, because Estelle had to confiscate them and find them and pull them out without him realizing that so many of them were disappearing.
They hung the quilt over a banister in his office.
Yep.
See you, Rod.
See you, Rod.
See you, Rod.
We had a quilt done for my mom a couple years ago when my grandmother passed away, with pieces of all of my grandma's clothes, and we gave it to her for Mother's Day. And at the time when we gave it to her, she was like, "I wondered where all those outfits went when I was cleaning out grandma's house." And I was like, "I know, I hid them." I tucked away all the ones that were memorable, that we were like, "Oh, I remember that shirt and we loved those, you know, this and that."
Edith did one for one of our super camp counselors for her graduation present. And I think her mom was gathering different materials and was for sure just trying to get a lot of the ones that she had duplicates of.
Yeah, and then I raided my closet to see if I had duplicates of ones she didn't have duplicates of, so I didn't have to cut up her shirts.
Yeah, give up your shirts.
Yeah. It's one thing when we're like using a shirt that she clearly no longer fits in, but I don't want to use like 2 years ago shirt.
Yeah.
That or the ones that have all of the camp signatures on it.
Back in 2004, when I was in the hospital, my daughters visited me and they'd been cleaning back at the farm here. And they said, Dad, did you know that you had 200 t-shirts? I said, I do. And they go, not anymore.
You're not even close.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're an amateur.
That's like one box.
I bet I have 200 4-H shirts, another 100 school shirts.
Yeah.
I know. I could probably wear a different camp shirt every day of the year and never have to do laundry.
I get mad at how little I have to do laundry if I just wore all of my clothes.
It was funny because
just pile them
I
up.
went to a Chinese restaurant and got a fortune cookie, and it says, "You will be getting a new wardrobe." And I said, "Yeah, camp shirts." Because I get 3 for leadership camp. I get 1 for Wayne County camp, 2 for shooting sports camp. My new wardrobe every summer.
Can I come up here, Buddy Bear?
The best fortune that Katie ever got in a cookie was, it said, "It's about time somebody let me out of this cookie."
That's great.
I think I still have that one somewhere.
You might.
Probably on my bulletin board.
I took a picture of it for your scrapbook. That's why I remember it.
I've got one that I keep in my wallet that says, "He who laughs lasts."
Good one.
True. That should be a Father Time one.
Janelle's favorite cookie is a fortune cookie. And so when she was having her high school graduation party, my parents were like, "What kind of cake do you want?" And she's like, "I don't want a cake. I want fortune cookies. That's my favorite dessert." So we got 1,000 fortune cookies.
Wow.
A lot.
Ted liked the school cookies. He didn't like cake. He wanted school cookies. So we went to the school, talked to the guy that was in charge of the kitchen, and they're like Otis Spunkmeyer cookies, and got 400 or 500 cookies from him and baked them for your graduation party. That mac and cheese and sloppy joes. Roasters full of that.
Roasters full.
Dave, what school are you at?
Worcester City. I'm at Parkview.
Okay.
One day he'll graduate from kindergarten.
Oh.
That's why one kid the other day said, "Mr. Dave, you cut things out really good with scissors." I said, "Well, I've been in kindergarten for 13 years.
You need to teach Ted.
Yeah.
He's not good at scissors. He's not improved in
I
adulthood.
can't teach him because he's left-handed.
Left-handed.
I don't do the
Hey
left-handed.
now, I'm left-handed.
We'll send you to spend some time with Edie. She uses scissors a lot. She'll teach you.
Yeah, but she doesn't have time to teach me.
Well, you just got to keep up.
No wasted minutes.
Yes.
Also, I see Edie using the rotary wheel more than scissors.
That's true.
Yeah.
Only when
Rotary
she's
wheels are
cutting
handy.
long strips. She still has like 17 pairs of scissors on each table in the basement.
Ask Melissa with those rotary things.
And a lot of hemostats.
Rotary.
Hemostats are a great quilting tool. You just got to know somebody to get them.
I used to get them at the flea market. The flea markets usually had stuff like that.
We have a nurse in our quilt club, and so any of the ones that, like, if the plastic is slightly weird, they can't use them because they're no longer sterile. So she puts them in a box and she brings them to us instead of throwing them away.
Nice.
I get mine from the iBank because they're only using disposable instruments now.
Mm.
Are you still a harvester, Larry? I don't know what you're called.
No, I only did that for 26 years.
Oh, only.
Only.
They changed their way of doing it. So now people from the clinic go out to all those counties. And one of my former 4-H'ers works at the clinic now.
The next generation of harvesters.
Yep. I only have eyes for you.
The Irish eyes are smiling.
Grandpa donated his eyes.
I don't think Larry did that. Well, far.
Oh my golly.
I know.
Well, I think that's my cue. I think I'm going to head out.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good to see you
Bye-bye.
again.
See you guys tomorrow night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Amber, do you have a
my
rough
big
head
day
count
today.
for tomorrow yet?
I can check it just a second. I'm going to stop